Now let's move on to figure eights. That's another spectacular move that everyone wants to see you do. Once again, we'll remind you of the stance, knees slightly bent, pelvis slightly forward. Your hands can just kind of frame what you're doing, or you can use them just for practice, not in performance, but for practice. You might want to hold on to your lower ribs so that you can see that your hips are moving and your upper body is not. But figure eights, it's like you're drawing a figure eight with one hip and then the other. You come through the center and you've got backwards figure eights, forward figure eights, sideways figure eights, and I'll take you through those. So make sure your stance is comfortable, and I'm going to start with a forward and draw my circle, then back to center, then draw the circle, then back to center. And if you want, you can use your hands to just remind you of what you're doing. And once again, slow music, you'd use sensual, larger, slower figure eight. Now the other thing with this type of figure eight is that it has momentum, same as the circles do, so you might find yourself wanting to shift, and this one's a backwards one, so I find myself wanting to shift backwards a little bit. So you can use it as a traveling move, and then you come back to center. Now try another way. This one was this way. Try a different direction, and you can start from either side. So drawing your figure eights with your hips, one circle, the other circle, and then once you kind of get the hips, see if you can't get the upper body doing a little less work. Let the focus be on the hips. And this feels like it wants to propel me forward. And just shuffle forward if you feel that momentum and it is your aim to travel. And then come back to center. Now, remembering your stance, you can do those a little smaller. And the faster the music, the more sway, the more jingle, the more fun you create. And of course, the faster the music, the smaller the figure eights. So now, with the sideways figure eights, what you're doing is creating a figure eight this way. It can be downward or it can be upward. Now this is a very sensual move. You wouldn't use it for very fast movement, very fast music. And you definitely want to have your nice stance there. So we'll do up. And it really does look very exotic and sensual. Now the downward one is a little more difficult, and it's a little bit like walking backwards, so you might get it as you try and imagine yourself walking backwards. Okay. So large, sensual figure eights, always with your knees nicely bent. Little fast ones for when music is really wanting to make you go. Traveling ones. Slow, sensual. sometimes called mayans. Downward ones. Okay, so that's it for figure eights for the lower body.